All right, the president wrapping up in West Salem, Wisconsin, and now we're going to head to Omaha, where we have a crew standing by there. We have Mike Beneficent and Zoe Bethel, Zoe Sozo standing by, so make sure that you don't go anywhere. The one in Omaha is going to be a big one. Nebraska. It's the first time we've been to Nebraska here at RSBN, and we can't wait to see what it's like tonight. We're also going to be in Arizona tomorrow, 2 rallies tomorrow. We have one in Goodyear, Arizona, and also one just outside. There are so many of them that I can't even remember what the city is now. Bullhead City, which is right on the Arizona-Nevada border. So we'll be live for that all day tomorrow. Then we just had another one announced on Thursday for North Carolina. We'll be providing more details on that soon. The president wrapping up here, and we'll head now straight to Omaha, where our crew is already standing by. We'll go live there in a second, but we're going to go live back to the scene for Philip Torino and Liz Willis are standing by. And they provided great coverage today, some great interviews they also had today in West Salem, Wisconsin. So thank you all so much for joining us. God bless you. If you want to support independent media like us, who beat the mainstream media in view counts because of you, thank you so much. But we don't interrupt the president. We show the full remarks, and we're at every single one, rsbnetwork.com/donate. God bless you. Back to Liz and Philip.
Dropping below freezing. There are still thousands of people who waited until President Trump's very last word. You see him waving goodbye in the beast right now, while the crowd is still here dancing, jumping up and down, waving flags. We have a Back the Blue flag right here. It is 30 degrees here in West Salem, Wisconsin, with a wind chill of 27 degrees. I'm telling you, it is cold, and that hasn't stopped a single person from coming out and enjoying President Trump's Make America Great Again rally. Thank you all for watching. This is not it for the day. This is President Trump's second stop of his 3 campaign rallies today. You can expect each one to just get bigger and bigger as his support leading up to the presidential election on November 3rd grows. Keep in mind, Right Side Broadcasting Network is doing all of this without any large investors. We're almost entirely viewer funded, meaning we rely on your donations to get from rally to rally, state to state, covering President Trump's historic campaign. There are a number of ways you can help support Right Side Broadcasting Network. The first one is by clicking the $sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the YouTube Super Chat. The second way is by going to our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And the third way is by sending a check. You can send a check. This is the non-electronic way to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Every single cent that you're able to donate helps us. It helps us fight for 4 more years for President Trump. I also want to say thank you to today's partners at My Patriot Supply. We only have 1 week left until this election. Now is the time to make sure you are prepared with My Patriot Supply. They have a great offer for today only. You can save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. It comes in a super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. I mean, think about it. When an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? If it's to run to the grocery store, well, you're too late, because in today's crazy world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest or another pandemic, which we've seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this. Don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support My Patriot Supply for bringing you today's rally. Again, that's prepare2020.com, prepare2020.com. Well, I have never seen an audience disperse so fast. I mean, they waited until his very last words. They stuck by him, super excited, and now they're just absolutely out of here. Again, freezing temperatures. President Trump does have a third rally today. He is on his way now to Omaha, Nebraska, where he will be giving his third rally in similar temperatures to this one. Crazy. I don't know how he's doing it, but insane energy from him as well as the rest of his campaign and the rest of his team. Philip, what did you think of today's rally?
I think the President of the United States brought his message directly to the people. He told them what he's going to do for Wisconsin, what he's been doing for the United States, and that's exactly what the people wanted to hear. Like he said, he has delivered on every single one of his promises, and that is one of the reasons why we love President Trump so much, and I know all of you love President Trump so much. Sorry if my speech sounds weird. My face is almost frozen from standing out here. I am so sorry, but yeah, the president absolutely delivered a stunning speech here today, telling the people why Wisconsin needs to go red come November 3rd, and they need to win by a landslide because we know that the Democrats have tried to cheat this whole thing since 2016, and they will continue to try to do so in 2020 because you can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they would say. So President Trump here today, the crowd leaving very fast. Everybody wants to get to their car, turn on the heat, or get home and turn on the heat, and that is exactly what they're looking to do. So from all of us here at RSBN, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and remember to stay tuned to RSBN, donate, help us to get to all the rallies. We love you very much, and vote for Trump on November 3rd.
Okay, thanks everybody. We are on now. We move on to the last rally of our triple header here on Right Side Broadcasting, 1 week before the most important election of our lifetime. We're going to go to Omaha, Nebraska now. We're going to send it there live. If you're still watching this on the Wisconsin stream, make your way over to the Omaha stream now. We're going to end this stream. We will create a new event for this stream, and you'll hopefully get another notification for those watching on Facebook and Periscope for the Nebraska event. We are just minutes away from going live. We're already live on YouTube for the Nebraska event, so join us over there. Thank you all so very much. Can't tell you how just and so humbling, what an experience this has been for us. We got we picked up the mail today, and there's so many letters and thank yous, and we can't tell you how much it means to us. This is hard work for us. We're very small. I'm doing the work of a 4-man staff here in the office and getting about 3 hours of sleep a night, but it's so important that we are more than happy to do it because everybody should be doing something right now to come to the aid of our country, and we got 1 week. So 1 week to save America. All right. We'll see you over at Omaha.
Hi, I'm Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life. Have you joined one of the coalitions? Go to donaldjtrump.com/coalitions and see where you fit in to support this campaign. There are coalitions for women, Latinos, blacks, veterans, Catholics, evangelicals, pro-life voices, and many more. And remember, support Right Side Broadcasting.
close it up, but we had to rebuild it, and we saved millions of lives by closing it.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening on Right Side Broadcasting. We are live on the ground here in Omaha, Nebraska, at the third of President Trump's 3 stops today. He started in Lansing, Michigan. He just wrapped up in West Salem, Wisconsin. And we are so grateful, right, Zoe, that he is well on his way to Omaha, Nebraska. Now, despite this beautiful backdrop of a sunset, it is quite chilly here. For those of you that don't know us, my name is Mike Nivison. I'm your host, and we are joined today. You can't really see her, but this is Zoe Bethel. Zoe?
Thank you, Mike. Well, I'm excited, of course, to be on the road again, guys. And, of course, bear with me. This is really my first time being in cold weather in a while, so I'm going to try to get well adjusted tonight. But, of course, it's all worth it. We have 7 more days until the election night, and as you can see, getting a little bit of the crowd, but everyone's starting to pick up the momentum and the excitement. It's drawing nigh. We are ready for President Trump to win the second term, prayerfully, but everything that he is doing, working hard. Again, the insane schedule that he has with coming to the people with the plans that he has for coming, hopefully for 4 more years. We're just really proud of him, and of course we're sticking to it. But of course, Mike, I know you have all the stats. Looking at Omaha, in 2016, I believe, was already red at the time. I think it was about 60% of that as far as voting for President Trump, but it looks like it's promising again for this election season. So, yeah.
Yes, Zoe, thank you. Now, this is not a typical swing state that President Trump is visiting, being Nebraska is a deeply red state. However, this is a strategic stop on the campaign trail as it does border Iowa, which is a state that leans red, but it's not deeply red. So President Trump is able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by making this stop here, meaning that the 2nd congressional district is hotly contested. It did go to a Republican in 2016, or 2018 rather, but however, it is being hotly contested by a far leftist. And also, Nebraska is one of a few states in the country that splits its electoral votes. So if this election were to come down to 1 electoral vote, God forbid, this could be the most pivotal county in that. Now, this 2nd congressional district does consist of 2 counties. The southern county is more red than the county that contains Omaha, so that is the area where it's key. It's going to come down just to a handful of voters, and so President Trump, being mindful of this, is making a strategic campaign stop, similar to some of the other stops he's made, even just leaving Wisconsin in West Salem. That borders Minnesota, a state that's not technically in play, but the Trump campaign would like to steal in 2020.
Exactly right. So prayerfully, we will see where, prayerfully, we will see where this takes us coming up here soon. Want to point out one of our sponsors that could not do anything without, of course, guys. We are nonstop on the road. We have so many more rallies to go here in the last 7 days, but we cannot do this without your support. One of our sponsors is My Patriot Supplies. They are let's see here. It looks like they are the ones who are supporting anybody as far as the election, anybody who is conservative. But it looks like with only days until the election left, now's the time to prepare for anything that might be coming on. With all the civil unrest going on, all of this chaos that's going on in the world, you have to be prepared. And the best way to be prepared is, of course, getting yourself stocked up on food and supplies. Sometimes the grocery stores may not have the supplies that you need, but My Patriot Supply are one of the ones that you can get in contact with as far as getting yourself prepared. They have a kit that you can save $30 on. It's called the 1 Week Food Kit. It has breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last you up to 25 years. You can go only today for the special deal at prepare2020.com. That's prepare2020.com. Again, guys, the best way for you to prepare yourself for anything that were to come up, disasters, natural disasters, again, civil unrest. They have a deal going on right now for you to save $30 on their 1 week food kit. Again, that is prepare2020.com. None of this can happen without you guys. We're going to be, again, on the road until this election day and even after. But we cannot do this without you all support. And we appreciate our sponsors putting us on this road, putting us on the road following President Trump, bringing you all the unfiltered version of these rallies. Mike, is there anything you would like to add to that?
I would like to add that we are almost entirely viewer funded. As many of you know, at the last rally that I did in a warm climate was in Florida, and that was last Friday. And this is President Trump's 10th rally since then. So he is all over the country. He's doing 3 stops a day. We anticipate it to be up to 5 stops per day, as Laura Trump said on Hannity last night. President Trump they anticipate to do 5 rallies per week. So it costs a lot of money to get everyone out here. I know that this sounds like a broken record, but I just want to drive home the point that your donations get us here. You are the ones that send us here. This is your network just as much as it is ours. We're in this fight together, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate all of you that are tuning in tonight. Those of you that support us financially, I want to tell you, if you're new, there are 3 ways you can support us, as we are almost entirely viewer funded. You can go to our website at rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can mail a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the little $sign in the bottom right corner of the chat and give us a super chat. And we will do our best to read them on air, although I will allude to the fact that we do not have the best Wi-Fi signal here, so we're not able to pull up the internet.
David Young.
How's everybody doing? All right, is this the greatest peaceful protest you've ever been to? I'm David Young. I'm from Van Meter, Iowa, and we're going to take back this 3rd district seat to promote freedom and give President Trump an ally in Congress. All right? This is great. We're all like-minded. I feel like I'm at some kind of intervention, so I'll just start it out with this 12-step program. I'm David Young, and I'm a capitalist. And what does that mean? It's really about freedom. Sovereignty of the individual. It's about equal opportunity. It's about the entrepreneurial spirit. Come from God and not government, right? The government, right? And if you do, you've got a family member, a neighbor, someone in your community, even a stranger to help pick you up and get you along the way to where you need to be, right? Because we love each other. Now, the other side is playing this game where they think that your rights come from government. And if they can give them to you, they can take them away, right? We say no way to that. They believe in equal outcomes. They believe in identity politics and tribalism, right? And what do tribes do? They fight. And I don't know about you, but I'm a lover and not a fighter, right? This is the most consequential election of our lifetime. And in 1 week, we're going to go to the polls. As Americans have done for decades and centuries, right? Self-government. It's the best way out there, right? Because it's about freedom to pick your leaders and to make them accountable. Now, freedom isn't free, you know that. I'm from Van Meter, Iowa, where the Iowa Veteran Cemetery is. And I'll tell you this, those who are donned that uniform and are lying in the graves, they be turning over right now, knowing that the other side is trying to bring socialism to the table, and we're not gonna eat it, right? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. That we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, of which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life being that life is a gift from God, right? And God is the giver of life, and He'll tell us when the time's up, right? It's about making sure you keep the fruits of your labor. You spend your money better than the government ever will. Life and liberty, making sure our constitutional rights are protected. The Second Amendment, making sure that you can protect yourself and your family. Private property rights, being good stewards of the land and reaping what you sow from your property. Freedom of speech, like this great peaceful protest right now. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you're never going to realize your freedoms in that American dream unless you're happy. And happy means you're safe, right? And that means borders. That means a strong military, peace through strength. And if we ever have to use it, it's going to be swift, right? And we're going to win. And then making sure that we always fund our local law enforcement, right? So in 7 days, the most consequential election we'll ever face, it is imperative that we re-elect Donald J. Trump to the White House, that we re-elect Joni Ernst to the U.S. Senate, and that we give the president another ally in Congress. I'm going to get over the finish line. I may be bruised and bloody, but we're going to get there. It's about freedom. God bless America. Amen? All right. God bless.
United States Representative for Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, Don Bacon.
Man, this is a tough crowd out here, you can tell. This is Nebraska tough, right? Yeah. And we welcome all of our Iowa friends. We gotta elect David Young. We want him in the House. So, thank you for being out tonight. We gotta get your friends out to vote. Get your neighbors out to vote. Get your family out to vote. This is gonna be a turnout election. We're the party that's gonna fight to keep your taxes low. We're going to keep your taxes off of gas, all those carbon taxes that the other side wants to put on your utilities, on your airfare. We're going to be the group that makes sure that we don't embrace that Green New Deal that the other side wants to put on. No, right? Now, this election is going to be an election about results. I want you to think of what great things have been done the last 4 years. Under this administration, and originally with the Republican Congress, and we got to get back. First of all, what have we done for our military? 4 years ago, our military was on its back. The readiness levels were the lowest we have seen since 1977. We have now put the military back on its feet. It used to be half the Navy aircraft couldn't fly. Today, 80% can. We've restored the strength of our military. We've been able to get NATO to put $140 more billion into their defense, strengthening NATO. ISIS controlled a third of Syria and a third of Iraq. Today they don't own a square inch of property. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who ran ISIS, he's no more. He's dead, right? General Qasem Soleimani, who killed 609 Americans in Iraq alone. He's no longer here. That was a great decision by President Trump, and I praise it. Let's talk about trade. 4 years ago, we had an unbalanced trade. People were taking advantage of us. Today, we have a trade deal with China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan. We're working EU right now. Today, a year ago till today, our trade with China is up 8%, and our farmers are happy, right? They should be. And talk about the economy. 4 years ago, we had stagnant growth. Last year, we had the highest increase in wages in the history of our country for medium income earners at 6.8%. African Americans had 7.9%, the highest in the history of our country in wage growth. Who do you trust to bring us back after COVID? The party is, yes. It's not going to be the guy that's promising to raise your taxes and put more regulations on you. So I want to come back to where we started. We got to get out and vote, get your neighbors, get your friends. We're in a tough race in this district. It's always been tough. My opponent is a Bernie Sanders Democrat. She wants to take away your private health care. She embraces the Green New Deal. She supports abortion on demand till the moment of birth. And with your taxpayer money to do it. It's wrong. So, we're going to defend the land of the free, the home of the brave. We're going to ensure that we remain the land of opportunity for everybody, every single citizen. And we're going to embrace this, that we're always going to be the country that says, in God we trust. So, I close with this. I got a better phrase than President Trump. Are you ready for it? Bacon America great again. Hey!
The governor from the great state of South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Are you staying warm? It's cold. You kind of got to jump up. I came south, and it's still cold. What's up with that? Do we have any South Dakota people here? We got a few. Fantastic. Listen. Okay, listen. Listen, you people had no idea who I was 6 months ago. I mean, let's be honest. The only reason you know who I am today is because the liberals have been busy kicking me in the head for all the decisions I've made for my people in South Dakota. But let me tell you, my people are happy. They're happy because they're free. The governor in Nebraska, Pete Ricketts, Kim Reynolds in Iowa, and I have been making decisions to protect our people and let them use personal responsibility to protect their way of life. So listen, in South Dakota, I talked to my people and told them I was going to give them all the information that I had, and then I was going to give them flexibility, not only to protect their family's health, but also to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. And it's working. It's working for our people. We have had some tragic losses throughout this pandemic, but we also have a lot of people that have been able to get through it together. And that's what this country is about, is making sure we're protecting our constitutional freedoms while we go forward and take care of each other. Now listen, I want to talk to you about this president. This president has done more to protect our fundamental freedoms in the last 4 years than any president has for the last 50 years. He has defended our right to life, our Second Amendment, our freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, and our freedom to worship. Listen, folks, the reason I'm here today is because if Joe Biden had been in the White House, he wouldn't have let me do my job. He would have shut this whole country down, and he still would be shut down today. President Trump trusted me to do my job, and that is why people are still free in my state and in your state, because leadership has consequences. Leadership has consequences. On November 3rd, who we put in the White House is going to have consequences. Do not put Joe Biden in the White House. Put President Trump in the White House for 4 more years. Elect Don Bacon to send him to Congress to fight for you. I'm going to leave you with one more thought. Actually, 2 quick ones. The first one is, you guys are the workers. Obviously, you show up even when it's cold. You show up every day. You put the time in because you love this country. I need you to do more. When you leave here tonight, tomorrow you're going to go to a gas station and pump your gas, right? There's somebody standing next to you pumping their gas. You ask them who they're voting for and why. All right? You go to get groceries, going through the checkout line. There's somebody standing there. They're not going anywhere for a while. Ask them who they're voting for and why. There are people that you have written off that you think will never vote for President Trump. Ask them who they're voting for and listen to them and give them the facts on what this president has done, how he's kept every single promise he made to us 4 years ago, and he needs 4 more years to get the job done. Can you do that? Can you do more? Last thing I'm going to say is be happy. Be happy, optimistic. We have the vision and the values that provide hope for the future, okay? We believe in a president that gets up every day and fights for us and loves us. I told him I was going to come talk to you guys. I said, these people love you, Mr. President. What should I tell them? He said, you just tell them I love them too. That's what he wants you to know. So go out, do more, be happy, and may God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Have a wonderful night.
United States Senator for Nebraska, Senator Deb Fischer.
I love you too. Hello, Nebraska. We are here tonight, and I am so excited to be with so many friends to support our president, Donald Trump. You know, as a lifelong Nebraskan, we want somebody who's going to be a straight shooter. We want somebody who's going to shake our hand and look us in the eye and be straight with us. And that's what we've got with Donald Trump. He told us exactly what he was going to do when he was elected. He went to Washington and he shook things up. We have got a president who stands tall and rebuilds our military. We have a president who cares for our veterans. We have a president who stands strong for the unborn. We have a president who supports the Second Amendment. We have a president who supports our law enforcement officers, and we back blue. We have a president who has nominated 3 Supreme Court justices. We have a president who last night, after I voted for Amy Conant Barrett's confirmation, swore her in as only the 5th woman on the Supreme Court, and she will be fabulous. Well, what about Nebraskans? What do we stand for? Well, Huskers. We stand for a strong military, caring for our veterans, supporting our first responders, our law enforcement, protecting the unborn, building an economy with this president, and now rebuilding an economy. That's who we are. And we support somebody who's had our back, who fights for us, who doesn't fight for the elites, who doesn't fight for the swamp. Donald Trump fights for us. So you all need to get out and vote. November 3rd is so important. This is a monumental election. You all know that. That's why you're here. It is so important that we vote for President Trump, and we vote for our Republican partners like Don Bacon. This is a guy, Don, don't listen to this. This is a guy who is truly amazing. He works hard. He is in his district working hard for CD2 every single day. He carries your values to Washington and represents you in the House. and we need him back there. So please get out and vote November 3rd. This is such an important election, and we depend on you to make sure that we can have the representation we need. It's an honor. It is an honor to represent you in the United States Senate. I thank you for that. And I want to be able to carry that on, to be able to get things done, and we'll do it with Donald Trump. God bless you all. God bless the great state of Nebraska. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Finance Chairman for the Republican National Committee, Todd Ricketts.
Whatever happened to global warming? It feels more like Thanksgiving than Halloween around here. But I'm so excited to be back here in my home state of Nebraska. It feels so good to be back. You know, I live in a state that doesn't have such a good governor. So it's good to be here in Nebraska. And I just want to introduce myself. My name again is Todd Ricketts. I'm the finance chairman for Trump Victory. And I've been working for this president for 3 years now. And I got to tell you, it's been such an honor working for this guy because he is such a great leader. But more importantly, he is the hardest working man in America. Even just today, he woke up in D.C., went to Michigan, he went to Wisconsin, and now he's on his way to Nebraska before he heads out west to do more events tomorrow. Unbelievable stamina. That's what you said it just right. And so really, he sent me here tonight to tell you just a few things. He sent me here tonight to tell you we are going to win this election, no questions asked. And we are going to win this election for a few simple reasons. Number one is that they are not a party or a movement. They are a list of grievances. And we here tonight and all across America, we are the party of gratitude and joy. They are the party of riots and looters. And we are the party of boat parades and rallies. And all I know is that in America, optimism always wins. Always wins. So really, that's what I came here tonight to tell you, that we're going to win, and we can't do it without your help. We need everybody to turn out to vote. And make sure, because every vote counts, especially here in Nebraska, especially make sure we vote for Don Bacon, especially make sure we deliver this electoral vote to President Trump. And really, having worked at the campaign for 3 years, I can tell you one thing I know very clearly, is that we can buy as many TV ads as we want, but the most powerful ad that we have is you telling your friends, your relatives, and your neighbors that you are voting for President Donald Trump. You are our ad. You are our campaign. And really, there was a second reason I came here tonight, and it's a very special reason, near and dear to my heart, is I got the opportunity to come here and introduce to you guys somebody you guys all know as well as I do. He's been a great leader for the state of Nebraska. It's been the example that all the states should follow in dealing with COVID. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about your governor that you may not know. When we were little kids, or I was a little kid, and so I'll just tell you a fun story instead of something political. I was 9 years old. I was playing football with the neighbor kids, and my team had lost. And I felt that we had lost because the other guys had cheated. And I didn't know if you know this about our family, we're pretty competitive. And so I came home and I was crying and I was bawling and I was angry and I was plotting my revenge. And I was saying, those guys won because they cheated. And so 9-year-old Todd, talking to 14-year-old Pete, heard him say this. He said, Todd, you know what? Sometimes in life, you just have to stand for something better. And I took that to heart, and I live by that today. And I always appreciate 14-year-old Pete Ricketts teaching 51-year-old Todd Ricketts the lessons in life that are so important. And so without boring you guys and going on very long, telling you any more stories, I would like to introduce to you the governor of the great state of Nebraska, my brother, Pete Ricketts.
Hello, Omaha. You guys look great. Y'all staying warm out there tonight? Yeah, we got some energy in the crowd, right? Now, why are we here tonight? We are here tonight for our president. Our president. We are here tonight because our president has been fighting for us. Our president, Donald J. Trump, created the greatest economy that we have seen in our country in 50 years. Donald Trump's America put more Americans to work than we have seen in a half a century. He reduced poverty by more than we had seen in over a half a century. The lowest unemployment rate we had seen in over a half a century. The lowest unemployment rate for African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanics. We saw last year 2.1 million jobs created. Over half of those went to women for the first time in our country's history. This president knows how to get an economy going. And what does that mean for us as Americans? That means that we get to enjoy the American dream, that we get the chance to send our kids to school, go on that family vacation, and enjoy all the wonderful things this country has to provide. That's the vision this president has for our country, that every American can live the American dream. Under Donald J. Trump, 5.6 million people came off of food stamps. How about that? 2.4 million people were lifted out of poverty. But wait, that's not all. The president also kept us safe here at home from our enemies overseas. The president decimated ISIS. Under President Trump, our American forces killed the #1 terrorist in the world, al-Baghdadi. They also killed the leader of Iran's Quds Force, Soleimani, General Soleimani, who was plotting to kill American soldiers. And while fighting our enemies, this president was able to get a historic peace deal between two Arab countries and the nation of Israel. And he moved our U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem that people had been promising for decades, and Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump is also the most pro-life president we have had. He was the only president to attend the Walk for Life in Washington, D.C. He believes in protecting innocent unborn life. This president is a president who shares our values. He understands what Americans want and how to deliver on it. He knows that we need to protect the Constitution, and that means protecting our Second Amendment rights. And to help protect our Second Amendment rights, the President has put people on the bench that will protect our Constitution. He has named 143 Circuit Court judges, 53 District Court judges, and now 3 Supreme Court judges. This president knows how to deliver on his promises. He has lowered the unemployment rate. He has just made it so that the income inequality in this nation is the lowest it's been in decades, delivering on the promise for Americans to live that American dream. Now, what are we facing? We're facing a Democrat Party that does not share those values. Back in 2004, the Democrats started talking about 2 Americas. They meant to use that to ignite class warfare. But that 2 Americas they were talking about then is their vision. Their vision for America is very different than President Trump's vision. They have a vision of a socialist America. They have a vision of America where our rights are not protected, where the rights of rioters and looters are protected. They get to go out and do anything they want, and law-abiding citizens are left on their own. Think about that vision of 2 Americas. Do we want a vision where law enforcement is supported? Yes. Because the Democrats are offering a vision where they defund the police. Do we want an America where our Second Amendment rights are protected? Because the Democrats have a vision where they would take away our guns and law-abiding citizens could be getting 10 years in prison for their guns. Do we want a socialist America? Do we want a socialist America? Do we want a socialist America? No, we don't. And that's why we are here tonight. Because Donald Trump has been fighting for us for 4 years. Now it is our turn to fight for Donald Trump. And that's why I need all of you to go out of here tonight and make that commitment to vote 10 times. Okay, not the Democrat way 10 times, but to do what the previous folks have told you as well. Look, folks, our best advertising is you. You are the people that your friends look up to, your neighbors, your coworkers. They know you come to events like this. They know you pay attention. They want to know your opinion. I need each and every one of you here tonight to make that commitment that you're going to leave here tonight, and not only are you going to vote for Donald Trump, but you're going to get 9 other people to vote for Donald Trump. Do I have your commitment? Come on, do I have your commitment here? All right, because Donald Trump has been fighting for us, we need to fight for him. And that will allow us to, exactly right, get 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. All right. You guys are going to love it when the president pulls up in his plane. It's going to be gorgeous. All right. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy complimentary coffee and hot chocolate in our comfort station, the large white tent near the main entrance. Again, complimentary hot chocolate and coffee is available in our comfort station near the main entrance.
Today I'm honored to receive the endorsement of dozens of incredible Florida sheriffs. And we just received, sheriffs will be happy to hear, we just received the endorsement of many, many police organizations all over the United States. I can't imagine they're endorsing the other side. I would say the way things are going, I would think that's a tough endorsement, wouldn't you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. We are in, I'm so frozen that my brain is actually frozen. Hold on, let me put my gloves on here, because guys, let me tell you, Joe Biden's creepy doomsday prophecy of a dark winter seems to have manifested right here in Omaha, Nebraska, Zoe. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to give you guys some shout outs, because I know that you've been tuned in most of the day. Plenty of you have probably watched all of the events from earlier today, the two events before this, and the one in Michigan, and then one in Wisconsin, and now this one in Nebraska. So we wanted first, I'm going to let Zoe tell you about our partner for the day, and then we're going to jump into donations. Zoe?
Thank you, Mike. So our partner for this rally is going to be My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply, with only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer today only. Save $30 on their most popular one-week food kit. It comes in this super cool ammo can, and it contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. You can only get this deal at the special site, which is prepare2020.com. Again, it's prepare2020.com. This is something for, of course, getting yourselves prepared for any type of emergency, of course, civil unrest, any type of natural disaster. Last thing you want to do is go to the grocery store and not be able to get the supplies that you need. Again, My Patriot Supply is at prepare2020.com. It looks like they only have this deal today where you can save $30 off on this kit. Again, the kit has breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that will last you up to 25 years. Also, other ways, Mike, that you're able to donate, and that's through our YouTube Super Chat, which I see that you guys are active in. Of course, thank you guys so much for your support. Cannot do this without you. And we have other ways, of course, for you all to donate. And Mike, here you go.
Yes, thank you very much, Zoe. So I'm going to read some of these super chats out. I'm going to take off my other glove here, guys. I got to improvise here. I'm going back and forth between gloves and hand warmers and all these good things here. But let's get some shout outs to the super chats here. We got Gary. Gary says, it's going to be biblical. Trump 2020. James with a $20 super chat. Thank you very much. We've got Mark Bunch. Thank you for your super chat. And then we got YourWelder.com says, on behalf of YourWelder.com, thank you for supporting Donald Trump, supporting Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts. We're going to make America great again, Trump 2020. We appreciate you for that, sir. And we got Michael Shee. Michael Shee says, drain the swamp. We also got another one that just came in from Fonda Holland. Fonda says, hairdressers for Trump in Memphis, Tennessee. I love it. I love all the different like professions for Trump. Teachers for Trump, doctors for Trump, truckers for Trump, bikers for Trump, millennials for Trump, just all these different groups, Hispanics, Asians, blacks. It's just so many broad coalitions that support this president. Let's talk a little bit about some of the events of today. Today, I just happened to be, I don't know why I did this, but I turned on my TV in the hotel room, and I just happened to scroll past CNN, and I saw Barack Hussein Obama down in the great state of Florida, down there fear-mongering to a crowd of, I don't know, they wouldn't show the crowd, but I'm guessing less than 100 of Sleepy Joe's voters, and he was just begging. It sounded desperate to me, so it sounded like he was pleading with Floridians to vote for Joe Biden, but he wasn't telling them why. He was just basically railing against Orange Man. Orange Man bad. You got to vote for Joe Biden. He said Joe Biden is going to bring about the change that we need in this country. Zoe, how is that possible when Joe Biden has been in politics for 47 years? How is it also possible that Obama, who lives in Martha's Vineyard, could sit there and fearmonger about climate change and saying that, Floridians need to be protected from climate change when he himself just bought a house in Martha's Vineyard? What are your thoughts on this?
Thank you, Mike. Well, of course, you know, I mean, it's clear as day that the hypocrisy on the left is, like I said, it's clear as day. I mean, they're not consistent. Joe Biden, he's been in office for how many years now and still hasn't done anything really for the American people other than things for himself. And, of course, now you're seeing that with his son, Hunter Biden, and all the things that they've been involved in. And what other things have they been involved in and that we, the people, the American people, don't know about? So, again, with Obama, you see that he's in cahoots with these people who claim to be for the American people, and they really aren't. And you're starting to see that, like I said, revealed. But you know, it's a time. The time is right now for these things to be exposed and for these people to be, again, drain the swamp. These people need to be put out of office. We need to replace these positions with people who do care about the American people. Again, what President Trump is doing is very important. It's very important. How many years have we been going on, and these things have been taking place, and you know, and justice has not been served, and they want to talk about, oh, we want justice, we want peace, we want all these things, yet you destroy your cities and you allow these things to happen. So, you know, you're not going to see a change for a long time, but the change that we want to see has already been happening, but the left is consistent when trying to stop it from happening, covering themselves in all of the criminal activity that they've been involved in. And President Trump is the man to get rid of that, okay? And we, the people, we have to vote. We have to get out. We have to vote. We have to make sure not only in the presidential election, but your congressional, you know, same thing. Vote locally. Vote. Get more involved to make sure that we are not having criminals in office taking advantage of the American people. So we have 7 days. It's important to get out and vote. Even though I'm going to be on the road, I will be back home in time to vote, and then hopefully, prayerfully, I'll be back to get basically finish the work until it's done.
Yes, indeed. It's so hard to believe that we have 7 days, you guys, 7 days until the most important election any of us have ever voted in our entire lives. And it's just such an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be able to travel around the country covering this historic campaign. And we're doing it with your support as we're looking at one of the most corrupt campaigns, low energy campaigns in the history of our country, and Joe Biden. I mean, and then President Trump being such a historic president, the best of our lifetime, first president to not start a war, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, and doing all the things he's done in the Middle East, like literally brokering peace deals. He could single-handedly, Zoe, I think President Trump can do this. I think he can end the Arab-Israeli conflict. I mean, we've already got two countries that have been hostile towards Israel for decades. They're normalizing relations now. That's huge. That's historic. You know, we all know that Barack Hussein Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for much less than that. President Trump has now been nominated 3 times. He should be nominated a 4th time with this most recent peace deal with Sudan. And there's more to come. And when he says the best is yet to come, he literally means it. And it's so much better when you talk to the average person. Would they rather hear a message of like doom and despair? Joe Biden literally said it's going to be a dark winter, and President Trump was like, actually no, it's going to be a beautiful winter. Our country's doing great. We're going to come out of this. Even if what President Trump may not be saying, even if what he's saying may not be true in that moment, he is a believer in manifesting that reality. He believes in the law of attraction, same as me. Like, even if things aren't perfect the way
Heavenly Father, watch over all gathered here tonight. Give us the last days of the campaign to see your will be done. And if it be your will, help us to inspire people to vote to protect life, both the unborn and the elderly, to protect the institution of marriage, to oppose the curse of gambling, and to ensure religious freedom. Heavenly Father, watch over and bless all men and women serving in the military who are protecting us from evil across the globe. Watch over and bless all law enforcement personnel who are protecting us from evil across the nation. And watch over and bless all health professionals who are protecting us from the evil of this pandemic. And finally, Heavenly Father, watch over and bless our president. Give him strength in these last days, and may you continue to guide him as he leads our nation for many years to come. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless America!
All right. So we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I almost lost my train of thought. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about before. We were interrupted there. They're not on a normal schedule today. Usually they open with the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem, and then they do the speakers, and they kind of broke it up a little bit. So it threw me off a little bit. But I think I was talking about how the average person would much rather hear a message of hope and optimism than a message of despair. And that's what Joe Biden does, and that's what Democrats tend to do, is they paint a gloomy picture of the United States of America, and they create all these grievances amongst their little identity groups, and that's how they ultimately build their voting blocks. President Trump just talks about positive things, and I think you really are starting to see that. More people are being drawn towards him and away from the Democrat message, which is everything's racist, everything sucks, America must be destroyed, and it's unfair. And people are tired of it ultimately, and you see that it's reflecting as you see we've got these phenomenons now. You got these rappers now waking up. You got Lil Pump, Walk a Flock of Flame. Who else? Ice Cube, 50 Cent. I know they're just rappers, but they have influence and they have big followings, and I think that speaks volumes that even they're starting to wake up and see what is going on in our country.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And back to what you were saying about having a positive attitude, you know, the left, they have such a negative perspective and opinion on this country, you know, with everything going on, you know, it's important. Yes, us as a country, we've had our downfalls, we've had our issues, but we still come out strong. And even with the Constitution, how Democrats they're trying to redo that. They want to do away with it. Our religious freedoms, our right to bear arms, all of these amazing things that makes us a great country, and they're trying to take that away from us. So it's just, of course, having a positive attitude, and you're absolutely right. President Trump is the one who brings it to the table, the enthusiasm, the energy that he has. You know, they say orange man bad, but honestly, orange is really a representation of the color. Well, the color orange is a representation of energy, of all of these things, you know, all of this strength and everything. And so, you know, he should have said, embrace that, you know, tell them, you know, yeah, you can say orange man bad, but look at all these people. You know, it's undeniable the amount of support, positive support that he's receiving. And I think he has a chance. I think he really does. And at least, if anything, seeing the amount of people that are supporting him should show you what it's going to be like on election day. It really is. So, of course, I'm really happy. And, you know, out of all the times that I've been on the road with Right Side Broadcasting, of course, every single time I'm grateful. I'm happy to be here. This is a historic time that we should really cherish and really take in. Even you all at home being a part of this and following us on the road and following President Trump in this, during these times. This is something that's really important. And yes, again, this election is very, very important. It's important that we get involved. It's no more being silent, not undecided. You have to choose. It's black or white. It's black or white. It's left or right. So you have to. You have to.
Yes, if we could just show this crowd here. We've got a very big crowd here of Patriots in Omaha, Nebraska. Again, we're really minutes away from President Trump's scheduled remarks. He's scheduled to deliver remarks at 7:30 Eastern. Now, we do know that it's roughly an hour and a half flight from Wisconsin, where he was, West Salem, to where we are in Omaha. So we anticipate his arrival should be just before 8 o'clock if he did take off a little after 6 there. But we have a nice crowd of Patriots here. I would say there's probably 10 to 15,000 people here easily. In fact, I have not been to a rally yet where there's less than 10,000 people. Now, I see we have 54,000 people watching online. We appreciate all of you tuning in to us at Right Side Broadcasting. Do us the biggest favor and smash the like button so that we can circumvent YouTube's algorithms. This has pretty much been a marathon for us today. This is the third of President Trump's stops today in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, guys, 54,000 now watching. Give us a like. Smash that like button. Also, we are up to 703,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a huge milestone for us. Just over a month ago, we were not yet even at 500,000. I remember being in North Carolina and talking about, man, we're trying to get to 500,000, and now we have surpassed 700,000. But I appreciate everybody that's tuned in tonight. Please do us a favor. Subscribe to RSBN, hit that bell notification so you do not miss any of President Trump's rallies. We have 7 days to go, and they are probably going to be announcing 5 per day here shortly. Now, I see we've got some super chats. Anthony Holmes says, thank you for your stamina and strength in bringing this to America. We've got a new member, Nalea, I think I pronounced that right. Harold the Handyman, thank you for your super chat. Ruth Ann, thank you for your super chat. We also got a super chat from Lenny and from James. James says, these folks at RSBN need support, folks. And you just helped us out, James, and we are so grateful for that. Billy Howe says, why doesn't Trump need glasses? Because he's got 20/20 vision, that's why. And K-Biz says, make America great again. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that tuned in to RSBN. You guys are incredible. So please do us a favor and support RSBN by several ways, one of several ways. Number one, you can support us on YouTube via Super Chat. In the bottom right-hand corner of the chat is a little $sign. You can click on that and donate to us that way. You can donate at our website via rsbnetwork.com/donate. And if you don't want to send your hard-earned money through the interwebs, you can mail a check to our physical address at 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So let's get into some topics here. We recently just had Amy Coney Barrett officially become a member of the Supreme Court. Tell us your thoughts on Amy Coney Barrett and what that means for our country as far as having a conservative majority on the Supreme Court.
Well, on our end, it means a lot. It's a victory for sure. with everything that she's been going through. At the second that her name was even mentioned, at the possibility of her having this position, I'm sure that she has had to go through a lot of things. And her being, I just commend her for being a mother, for being as strong as she is on her faith, not only being a mother, but her faith. I think that this is a great time, of course, for now more than ever is a time for people like her to start taking the lead. And we need, here at the conservative movement, we need to have people, strong, true American patriots in these positions of power to keep our country great, basically keep our country great. And you know, it's a lot, our founding fathers worked so hard to establish this, and from all these years, you know, we're looking at the blessings that this country has received because of this, because of actually God's hand, honestly, God's hand being on this country and being on the leaders such as President Trump. But going back to Amy Coney Barrett, I only wish her the best for as long as she can serve, and I'm sure that it's not going to be an easy road. It's never promised to be easy, but she is going to be strong, and with great leaders like President Trump endorsing her and having her back, and all we can do again is to support her and support each other. But of course, I would hope to see more conservative leaders like in office, you know, even after President Trump, after his, prayerfully after he wins the second term, we will start seeing a rise of more conservative leaders taking back the country, taking back what the devil has stolen from us or attempted to steal from us, and trying to destroy everything that was built. So I'm really proud of her for what she's doing, and I'm proud of President Trump for staying strong and for pushing through, even though the left tried to use emotion and try to play on the emotion of the people to try to prevent this from happening, which was his right to nominate and to select the next Supreme Court justice. So I'm really proud of her. I'm proud of our president as well.
Yes, and I got to say, Amy Coney Barrett is a fantastic pick for the Supreme Court. And going back to Obama today, when he was in Orlando fear-mongering to Joe Biden's voters, Obama said that, of course, what all the other Democrats are using, the same talking points, that the GOP is irresponsible, trying to ram through the Supreme Court pick before an election, knowing damn well they would have done the exact same thing. Obama said that they're going to use Amy Coney Barrett to take away the health care of millions of Americans. And I think that's just fear-mongering. It honestly is fear-mongering. They did the same thing with Brett Kavanaugh in 2018, saying Brett Kavanaugh is going to take away a woman's right to choose. Brett Kavanaugh, they didn't. That's a straw man. He never even said he was going to do that. He didn't do it. And they're doing the same thing because they feed off of fear. They feed off of emotions. They use people's emotions to manipulate them into making decisions that they wouldn't make otherwise. It's like if you were being chased by a bear and someone's like, hey, come get in my car and I'll protect you from a bear. You're probably going to do it even though that person's a stranger because you're in fear. But otherwise, you wouldn't get in a stranger's car, would you? So it's the same concept. It's like they're telling you, hey, there's a bear outside. Come get in my car and I'll keep you safe. But it's them feeding on your fear. And it's not even really the same thing as a bear chasing you because they're feeding on irrational fear. They're creating irrational fear, the omnipresent boogeyman, racism. The Republicans are going to take away this from you. You're not going to have this unless you give me power. That's how desperate these people are. And everyone should be afraid of it, quite frankly. If you hear these politicians telling you that your life is going to be over if President Trump is elected, you need to snap out of it. These people are preying on your emotions and they're manipulating you for votes. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. They're manipulating you for power. And for somebody like Obama, who has more energy than Joe Biden, but Obama, you could tell he's washed up. He's gassed. He's out there talking about my legacy and never forget where this recovery started, blah, blah, blah. The economy's already coming back. He's coming back, and you can't take credit for that, Obama. You know, they're blaming President Trump for this pandemic, too, saying, oh, if he had just taken the pandemic seriously, we'd have 100,000 more people alive. Okay, so then you got to blame Emmanuel Macron for all the deaths in France. You got to blame Justin Trudeau for all the deaths in Canada. You got to blame Andrew Cuomo for all the deaths in New York. Like, how much further down do you want to trickle it? You got to blame Bill de Blasio, since he's the mayor of the biggest city in America, which is where the virus was pervasive. So it's just irresponsible and dishonest to blame somebody for a virus. Again, just like how Joe Biden says, if he's elected, the virus is going to go away. it doesn't work that way. Just like you can't blame somebody for a virus, you can't take credit for it going away. The virus has to run its course. And again, going back to President Trump, I love his optimistic outlook on this thing. He's like, hey, look, the virus is bad, but it's not that bad. And guess what? Humans are resilient. We have beaten every virus that we have faced, either through modern medicine or through our bodies adapting to it, right? This is no different than any other virus that we've had to face. Life has to go on. Yes, one person dying is too much, but again, life must go on. Do you prefer a message of life has to go on? Let's get back to going to movie theaters and having vacations, going to school, working, traveling, working, all these things? Or do you want to just hide indoors, wear a mask, and live in fear for the rest of your life? That is the message of the Democrat Party. It's pretty much that simple. It's like, do you want a message of hope or a message of fear? Is that a private jet right there? That's incredible. Look, guys, President Trump just came in on a private jet. Just kidding. No, he didn't. But that's a cool little jet that's coming in. It's grabbing the attention of the audience. Look at everyone's got their cell phones up as if that's him or something. That's hilarious, guys. Now, let's see how many people we got tuned in tonight over here in Omaha, Nebraska. We got 57,000 watching, and we got some more super chats. Let me get some shout outs to the super chatters here. Sharon, thank you for your super chat. Joe T says, God bless Donald J. Trump. And thank you, RSB Network, for all you do. Priscilla, thank you for your super chat. And we've got Marek says, thank you for covering this peaceful protest on such a cold day. God bless RSBN and our great president. And another super chat from Jerry and Anita. I think I said your name right. Yes, Anita. A new one from Cantrell. Cantrell says, be best, MAGA 2020. We appreciate all of you for tuning in, supporting us here at RSBN. Shane says, keep crushing legends. Room 211 says, Room 211, the animated show supports Trump. What's up, Mike? What's up? Stacey M says, hey, Mike, look into the prophecies about Trump being president predicted many years ago. He is heaven sent. Great job, RSBN. I have heard about that. Just so you know, I've done my research. I've read about some of these things. Raymond, thank you for your super chat. Peggy Brown, thank you for your super chat. You guys are literally sending us to the next event with your donations. Like, you guys don't even know. You guys are doing the best for us right now. While we were here tonight, President Trump announced another event in Fayetteville, North Carolina on Thursday. So that's 48 hours from now. I can only hope that our great CEO, Joe Seals, will send us there. Zoe, tell Joe in the studio how much we deserve warm weather after this event here in Nebraska.
You heard him, Joe.
Joe, you hear us, Joe, in the studio. You know what to do, Joe.
Thank you, Mike. But, of course, going back to what you were saying, Mike, about how the left has really been using fear to prey upon the people. God, just a reminder, God has not given us a spirit of fear. We're able to identify and recognize the lies that the left has been telling us and using these tools and tactics, mass manipulation, to try to sway votes because they just don't want somebody else in power because they are going to be exposed. And so, of course, the truth is being revealed, and we're seeing it firsthand with everything going on. And even with 50 cents, however you pronounce it, even with him showing just a little bit of support for president and then having to retract what he said just because he was starting to get the negative responses from Hollywood. And it's just sad to see that, honestly. Sad to see that these celebrities, they can't even think freely for themselves, being a person of color, certain melanin percentage that is in their skin tone, and them succumbing to the expectations again from the left, which are unrealistic. And it's kind of sad. Of course, you can't even freely think, you can't even decide who you want to vote for just because it doesn't go along with Hollywood liberals' narratives. And it's really sad. It's really sad.
Yes, indeed. And you know, it's just insane to me that they're still pushing Joe Biden. The media is carrying that guy. They're trying to carry him across the finish line. Just a couple of days ago, he referred to President Trump as George Bush. He thinks he's running against George Bush. I mean, that's on top of him thinking he's running for Senate. He didn't know Mitt Romney's name. He's like, that Mormon guy. I mean, come on, dude. He didn't know his wife from his sister. Talking about, oh, they switched on me. I saw just a couple of days ago, he was wandering around backstage while Jill Biden was speaking. Just incredible stuff here, guys. Incredible stuff. 1 second here, guys.
Okay, again, guys, thank you so much for supporting us all the way through to, of course, we still have, again, 7 more days, but thank you all so much for supporting us. I want to mention one of our partners during this time for this rally is My Patriot Supply. With only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer for today only, for tonight only, guys. Save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. This comes in a super cool ammo can, and it contains breakfast, lunches, dinners that last up to 25 years. Of course, with natural disaster, anything going on, and of course we don't know what the future holds, but the best way to be prepared is to prepare now. Of course, you don't want to be caught without a plan, without plan B, so the best way to do this is, of course, go to prepare2020.com. Again, that's prepare2020.com. Get your supplies, get your house stocked up, because again, you never know what the future holds. But again, that's P-R-E-P-A-R-E, prepare2020.com. Save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. This will last you for up to 25 years. So it looks like possibly we might have an arrival. Again, President Trump was scheduled to speak at 7:30 local time. So it looks as if he's possibly arriving. But again, guys, thank you so much for your support. This journey has been amazing, amazing experience, and an eye-awakening experience for me and many, many other people, many other Americans, and people really all around the world. People are starting to wake up and realize what has been going on here in the United States. And, let it be an example to those who are watching from afar. Let it be an example that you have to stand up, you have to speak out. You have to use your voice, because if you don't, the enemy will take over. They will try to take advantage of you. They don't have your best interest in mind. They do not. All they do really care about is the money, and they care about themselves. So we have to fight. We have to use our voices. We have to speak out, and we have to make sure that our President Donald Trump, has the support that he needs to keep going. Look at this guy, this man. He's able to hold up to about 5 rallies a day. There's no one I can even compare him to, honestly. No one I can compare him to, but I'm just, again, proud of him, and I'm proud of all of his supporters, honestly. I'm really proud of his supporters.
All right, thank you so much, Zoe. We're going back and forth. It's kind of hard for us to hear each other because it's so loud here, so we're just going to hand each other the mic back and forth. But, guys, we are just moments away from President Trump's arrival in Omaha, Nebraska, his final of 3 stops. This was another triple header. I tell you, nobody on this planet right now is outworking this president, the best president we've ever seen. Again, a triple header of President Trump's. Yesterday, just 24 hours ago, it feels like I was in Pennsylvania, and then the day before that, I was in New Hampshire. It's just crazy how many days have just felt like 20 days, but in reality, it's just been like 4 days, really. That's how many rallies he's been doing, guys. It's just been incredible. And he's picking these strategic locations to hold these rallies. Again, we're on the border of Iowa, which is a key swing state. But the reason why he chose Nebraska, for those of you just tuning in, is because Nebraska has a lot going on, specifically in Omaha. Omaha is home to Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which is currently being held by Don Bacon. Now, he's going up against a radical far-left opponent in Kara Eastman, who votes with AOC. She wants to abolish the Electoral College. She supports the Green New Deal, Medicare for all. She basically supports radically reshaping the United States of America. And because Nebraska is a key congressional seat, it is something that we must hold. on the Republican side. And so President Trump making a stop here, endorsing Don Bacon is going to be huge. And also, Nebraska is one of a few states that actually splits its electoral vote. So it could very well come down to one electoral vote, which we hope isn't the case. But if it comes down to one electoral vote, it could be this district right here that turns the tide in the election. Also, with Iowa being on the border, he's also, appealing to the Iowa voter. Some people could just be driving over from, I think it's Scottsbluff, Iowa, I think is the city right across the river here, right across the Missouri River. I don't know. Omaha, Nebraska is actually a much bigger city than I thought it was. But we are enjoying our time here. It is very freezing cold out here, but the Patriots are fired up. They're conserving their energy. I know that the crowd is going to erupt when President Trump arrives. And we are excited for that, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank every last one of you for tuning in and supporting independent media, Right Side Broadcasting. Your donations are helping us keep up. I'm telling you guys, it's going to get even crazier in the home stretch here. The light is at the end of the tunnel. 7 days. Next Tuesday evening, we will all be glued to our television screens, watching as the votes tally in, as we see that President Trump is re-elected to the White House. 7 days remain, and it's going to get hectic between now and then, as President Trump, we anticipate, will be holding 4 to 5 rallies per day. 4 to 5 rallies, and we are committed to bringing you live coverage of each one of those rallies, and that is with your support. Your support. We are almost entirely viewer funded, which is why we're allowed to stand on the risers here, wearing our Make America Great Again hats, telling the truth unapologetically, not politically correct, because we are viewer funded. We don't take money from Rupert Murdoch or any billionaires or any big corporations. This is your network. Your donations allow us to make the journey across the nation covering President Trump's historic re-election bid. So if you want to support this movement, if you believe in freedom, if you believe in independent media that's going to show you the crowd, show you President Trump's speech in its entirety, start to finish, with no spin, no narrative, please support us. There are one of 3 ways you can do it. You can go to our super chat on YouTube. If you're watching, in the bottom right hand corner, there's a little $sign. You can click that and give a super chat, which we will read out on air. You can go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate, or you can mail a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Now, I am going to read out some of these super chats here. Willow says, President Trump has been sent here from God above. Everything the Democrats have accused him of, they have done. Watch Kim Clement's videos. He will be a 2-term president. Biden is very guilty. I couldn't agree more. James just became a new member. Thank you, James. Spike, thank you for your super chat. Nancy, thank you for your super chat. Investosaurus Rex says, reject socialism, vote Trump. Take the stock market to the moon. Investosaurus Rex, go Team Atlas. You said, hold on, let me read the rest of it. You said, go Team Atlas and revinyl.net. Thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. Sharon, thank you for your super chat. Timothy says, watching with my 8 kids on my birthday. It's all about Jesus. God bless you, Timothy. Happy birthday. Thank you for showing your kids this stream. I almost said teaching, but you're teaching them what the truth is. You're showing them, and we appreciate you. So thank you for your super chat, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday. Sunny Girl 65 says, it's so great to see young people like you leading the way in the truth and journalism. That swamp is pretty damn deep. We've got to re-elect him to continue draining it. Mangroves USA, thank you for your super chat. And George West, thank you for your super chat. Raj, thank you for your super chat. Your donations are greatly appreciated here. Bat Bath says, keep America great and keep up the great work, RSB Network. Lee Root says, hats off to RSB Network for covering all these friendly, peaceful protests. God bless President Trump and God bless America. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your donations are going to send us to all of these rallies. Man, it's going to be so crazy when he gets to 5 a day. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to pull it off because this is part of God's plan. This is divine timing. What a time to be alive. This is an amazing time to be alive for all of us. James says, I'm warm in my house. You guys are awesome and cold. Bless you all. Yes, we are cold. God bless us with some heat. Guys, send us some heat. Send us some heat this way. We appreciate it all. Winter is coming. Thank you for your super chat. Jay Seymour says, GAY men for Trump. Oh, I see what you're saying. God bless you. Thank you for your super chat. Matt H. We do this together as Americans, not individuals. Ramson, thank you for your super chat. You guys are incredible. And guys, please smash the like button. Give us a thumbs up. This is how we will circumvent YouTube's algorithms. This is how more of your friends and family will see this stream. If you want to win this election, you have to make sure that voters who are undecided are able to see President Trump speak, see what's happening at his rallies. We're showing you the crowd. We're going to show you the entire speech without any interruptions. And the best way to do that is give us a thumbs up so this gets promoted on YouTube's home screen. Also, share this stream. Share it. Get it on YouTube or share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on other platforms. Give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to RSB Network. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of these streams coming up. 7 days until the most important election anybody is going to vote in, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real fight here. We got a real fight on our hands. The left is not just going to go peacefully. Not much going on the left is peaceful right now. Did you see what happened in Philadelphia last night? A police shooting. Dude was running at the cops with the gun, but Joe Biden's voters do not care. They still smashed up black small businesses in Philadelphia. You can't make this stuff up. They don't care about the truth on the left. Not everybody on the left, but a lot of people on the left don't care about the truth. They care about their feelings. Andrea, thank you for your super chat. Andrea said, Florida keys for Trump. I think President Trump is going to win Florida. I'm hearing that they just pulled all the ads from Florida, so that must mean that they are wrapping it up as they know it's going to be a wrap. President Trump will win the great state of Florida. I hope it's one of the first states they announce as going for President Trump on election night. Angelica, thank you for your super chat. We also got a new member, Julian Dodge Shields. Thank you for becoming a new member. We appreciate you. I am alternating hands back and forth. One hand in my pocket with the hand warmer and the other hand grabbing the microphone. It is that cold, guys. We got a 33-degree wind chill or something like that. You'd think that I would be more accustomed to this, having lived in the Twin Cities for 5 years, but no. I miss my Florida. I miss my warm weather. Kenneth says, War Eagle, go Trump 2020. We got those up. The cameraman just nodded his head. He loves it. Kinirdo, I think I said that right. Thank you for your super chat. Invictosaurus Rex again says, we love RSBN. Watch every time they cover POTUS. Reject the mainstream loser networks. Where's Sleepy Joe? In the basement? SoCal for Trump. Speaking of California, oh my goodness, I shared this on my social media. There were probably 400 to 500 patriots holding a massive peaceful protest somewhere in Beverly Hills, I think, over the weekend. Trump flags, American flags. I tell you, man, California is ready to flip red. Zoe, what do you think? California, and what other states do you predict that President Trump might be able to turn red?
Thank you, Mike. Well, of course, we would never expect California, first of all, to be one of the states to turn red. But I think, of course, looking at all the enthusiasm from the supporters, I think that it is a possibility. I mean, all things are possible with God. I mean, and the truth, again, is being revealed, and people are starting to wake up. People are starting to see, and people are tired. People are fed up. You're seeing these Democrat-run cities that are being burnt down, that are being destroyed. In Philadelphia, yesterday, crime, of course, rioting, looting. People are tired. People are wanting to open their businesses. People are wanting to be able to sustain their families, provide for their families. So, of course, California, honestly, is one of the worst states when it comes to policy. They have these Democrat politicians that are, of course, again, they don't care for the people. They just care for themselves. And then they're so focused on these global warming and all these superficial, what I say personally, superficial issues. And that's not the problem. Stop deflecting. First of all. Second of all, we need to get these Democratic politicians out of office, especially in California. So with the election coming up, I know we will see, well, I'm sure that there are some surprises with the amount of people that have been responding during this election. But I'm sure anything is possible with God. And again, people are waking up and starting to realize the lies. And again, they are fed up. They're tired of seeing it. I'm blessed. We're blessed to be in the southern parts of the states, being in Alabama, not having to be under the curses of what basically the curses that you basically have to be under when having like Democratic politicians that are in office. But of course, it's 7 more days, guys. This is like I said, an eye-awakening experience for me, an eye-opening moment for me with everything that has been going on. And I'm sure a lot of people are starting to see it. Even with traveling, I'm running into people, having these conversations with them, and a lot of them saying, I used to be a supporter of so-and-so, I used to be a supporter of this, I used to be a supporter of that, but coming to the realization that these policies, these Democratic politicians, it does not work. It does not work, and it has not been working for years. Again, going back to Joe Biden, how many years has he been in office? How many things has he promised? How many things has he said that he was going to do? How many lies has he told, And right now we're dealing with him in his old age, still trying to push this through, still trying to run against someone who is more coherent than he is. And of course, it's really not Joe Biden running. We all know that. We know that it is Kamala Harris that is running. But of course, guys, keep President Trump in your prayers. Keep President Trump in your prayers. And of course, his supporters and other leaders that are following him and who are basically hand in hand with him during this journey, because it's going to get tough. It's never promised to be easy, but it's going to get tough. You hear Joe Biden saying, of course, he wants to implement forcing people to start wearing masks, forcing it, mandating it. You see that these people, they have their own agenda in mind, and God only knows what else they have planned if they do end up taking over. Of course, with it's 4 more years, even after that, we have to keep pushing for conservative leaders to be in these offices, because we cannot lose the fight. This fight is going to continue until the Lord returns. This fight will continue. The fight for this country, the fight for God to continue His name continue being used in this country. Fighting for religious rights, fighting for, of course, the right to bear arms, all of these wonderful things that we have, these blessings in our country. And it did not come easy. We had to fight for these things. So if you want to keep them, you got to vote. You have to vote. And you have to vote right. That's exactly right. So again, it looks like President Trump, it looks like he is a little bit behind schedule, but it looks like, of course, we'll be seeing him here shortly.
All right, we're going to send it back to the studio momentarily for a message from our CEO, Joe Seals. Joe, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike, and thank you, Zoe, and to all of you who are tuning in with us tonight, who are watching on RSBN and who have watched any of the other rallies that we've had on today. This is the third and final one of the day. We started off today in Lansing, Michigan. We had an awful time in Lansing as we had to rent a camera because our camera was lost on a flight, and so we've since recovered it, but we had to rent a camera. We made it work. We did everything we had to do to make it work. We're dedicated. We're going to be at all of these rallies. No matter what it takes, we'll be there as long as you'll keep getting us there, and we appreciate you. So then we headed to West Salem, Wisconsin. Liz Willis and Philip Torino doing a great job there in Wisconsin, and now the nightcap here in Omaha. The first time we've been to Nebraska. And so far, I like what I'm seeing. A really good showing here in Omaha. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be in Arizona for two more rallies. The crews are already en route now to Arizona, Bullhead City, and then, of course, Goodyear, which is right outside of Phoenix. We'll be in both of those places. And then so far, we have one announced for Thursday in North Carolina. Lara Lee Trump, most of you know, Lara is Eric Trump's wife. She is a campaign surrogate, and she was on Sean Hannity show last night and said that at the request of President Trump, we're going to start doing 5 rallies per day very soon. So I would imagine starting this weekend, you'll start to see a huge increase, and they should be announced anytime. So we expect 5 rallies per day for the president. The energy is unbelievable. We wouldn't ask unless we had to. We have to. We are viewer supported. We did that for a reason in the beginning so that we could do this kind of stuff right here. So we didn't have people telling us what we couldn't do. Look at that overflow crowd. It's incredible. You don't get to see this kind of coverage anywhere. We've been live now for hours. The whole day we show you the entire program from the Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, all the way through President Trump's speech. We don't interrupt or cut in and out like most of all of the mainstream media. Fox News even does it. So if you like that, if it's valuable to you, well, this is why we exist at this time in history. It's because President Trump needs an ally in the media that will not interrupt him, that will allow him to speak without being taken out of context. So if you want to support us, I ask you to please support us at rsbnetwork.com/donate. That's the best way to do it. And just so you know, we've been doing this since 2015. For those of you who are new, we've been to all the Trump rallies, and we have grown. And thanks to you and your generous support, you can tell, a lot of you who haven't seen us since 2016 can tell the production quality here is much, much better than we had back in the early campaign days when we worked directly with the Trump campaign. We helped them get 300 million views. The kind of numbers that we've been getting lately, beating mainstream media, is a testament to you, the viewer, and we appreciate you sharing and helping us grow as a company. But we need your support more than ever now if we're going to finish this out strong, because it will become increasingly tough for us. I'm doing the work of about 4 people here in the studio, booking the travel and sleeping about 2 to 3 hours a night. And it's been that way for the last couple weeks. So I'm not sure where I get the energy. Actually, I think I have a good idea. Those of you who have been praying for us, we feel your prayers because it's giving us extra energy right now. We need it, and it's tough, but we got 1 week left, and we're going all in to save this beautiful country, our great USA, in danger, in grave danger, if Joe Biden wins. So we can't let that happen. We're going all out. So we need your help, rsbnetwork.com/donate. Okay, transitioning now. We will be live tomorrow from first event of the day in Bullhead City, Arizona. I think it's around noon Eastern time. We'll have to check into that, but you can go to rsbnetwork.com to find the start times for that. All right, God bless you all. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rally.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, President Trump has just arrived in Omaha, Nebraska, and we are so excited for him. The crowd has erupted. They're fired up. You can just feel the energy as they see Air Force One make its way in, while we are waiting President Trump to make his grand entrance and take the podium. I want to read some of our website donations here, starting with Robert. Thank you for your website donation. You said, keep up the great work. Robin says, thank you for covering the Trump rallies. You do an incredible job. Nebraska is my home state. Thank you so much for coming here. Love our president. Trump Pence 2020. Matt says, happy birthday to my little sister, Rue. God bless you, Matt. He said, God bless you. Matt says, God bless you, Mike and Zoe. Stay warm. We need you. I also want to give a special shout out to someone who gave us a donation here on the spot. I think your name was Trevor. And you said you have people watching from Honduras. I believe it was Honduras, the country. Forgive me if I got the country wrong, but you said you had friends watching from another country. I believe it was Honduras, but thank you so much for your donation. I want to make sure that I got that out there and didn't forget about you. But thank you for the cash donation. We appreciate you. Moving along, Lorraine and Rich says, Patriots, hold the line. God bless America. Lisa says, love Trump, love Right Side Broadcasting. Keep up the good work getting out the truth. Praise Jesus. He is the boss over everything and everyone. Amen to that. Praise Jesus, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Kyle says, thanks for all you do, RSB. You've come a long way since 2016, sticking it to leftist vermin every chance you get. God bless you all. Mike Spalding says, I like your coverage of the president's energy from place to place. I appreciate what you have done. Allison says, thank you to the Right Side for getting our message out. This name I cannot pronounce, but thank you for your donation. The message reads 4 more years. Chris Moore says, Brits for Trump. And Kathleen did not leave a message, but thank you anyway. Michael says, hook 'em Trump. God bless Texas. God bless the USA. Michael Spalding says, great work and reporting. Randy Fuller says, RSB, thanks for being the one network to watch. God bless Trump, Pence 2020. Victory, November 3rd. Martin says, your commentary is awesome. We gotta stop the commies. Indeed we do. We only have 7 days to slow the spread of communism in America, guys. Cheryl Taylor says, NC loves Trump. And Steve and Stephanie say, you guys are all we watch. Thank you for all your hard work and proud to be your fellow patriots. Ron Tucker says, thank you, RSB, go Truck. Chris Stone says, keep up the good work. We love you guys. Ryan says, I love RSBN. 12 more years from MN. Mike Brewer says, from Mike in Gilbert, Arizona, red wave coming. I can't sleep. Maryland says, Elkhorn loves 45. Chris Moore says, Brits for Trump. Liz says, from Northern Marinas? I cannot pronounce that one, sorry. But Liz says Trump 2020. Deplorable Crazy TFC says, kick some butt, Donald. President 45, if they don't like it, they can get the funk out. I had to enunciate that correctly. Get the funk out. That's what Deplorable Crazy TFC said. Thank you so much. You guys are incredible. I love reading your donations and super chats and such. Now we have 75,000 patriots watching us on YouTube. Please, all of you patriots, do us the biggest favor and give us a thumbs up. Support this independent media that is bringing you live coverage of President Trump's third campaign stop of the day in Omaha, Nebraska. We run circles around Fox News, NBC News, and the rest that bring these rallies because we show you the crowd. We show you everything start to finish. We show you the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem, all the guest speakers. We had Kristi Noem speak earlier. One of the greatest governors in this country. She believes in freedom. She let her state, the citizens of her state, she let them breathe fresh air during the pandemic. She didn't close their businesses. We're showing you that. We got great commentary, truth tellers here. Do us a favor and support that by giving us a like. Also, subscribe to RSB Network. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's see if we can, I know this sounds ambitious, guys, but we're only 300,000 subscribers away from the ultimate milestone of 1 million. You can help us get there tonight by simply subscribing. I mean, it's the least you can do if you want to win this fight in 7 days. The very least you can do is make sure the maximum amount of people get to see President Trump's rallies so they can hear exactly what he has to say, so they can see the crowd, so they can see what actually happens at his rallies. That is the least you can do. Subscribe. Share it on social media. Share it on Facebook and Twitter. Text it to your friends and family. All right, I'm gonna read a few more super chats, and then President Trump will be coming out to take the podium here. Larry Strong, thank you for your super chat. Kenneth, thank you for your super chat. Vanika says, appreciate RSBN, wonderful host. David says, Donnie Trump, we dare you to exit Air Force One down the emergency inflatable slide. That would be great if he did that. I would love to see that. But I don't think it's going to happen. Rob Elder, thank you for your super chat. We also got a new member, Kevin. Thank you for becoming a member, Kevin. You are just incredible, Kevin. And did we have another one come through? We did. Jeff Mad, thank you for your super chat. And let me see, there was another one here. Kenneth, I got Kenneth. I got Vanika. Kim Ray says, please liberate California. Keith Riddle says, next level nutrition. Danville, VA peace, and love to all my American brothers and sisters. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering some of the names and stuff like that. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing my best. Who else do we got? Chrissy, Brittany, Sebastian, thank you for your super chat. Joey Nice, thank you for your super chat. Tom A says, Quebec, poor Trump. Let's get rich. Thank you, Tom A. Quay Bach says, thanks RSBN for being president's voice to American people. Well, thank you for supporting us, independent media. Rachel Martinez says, Trump 2020 from Caleb. And another new member, HG Lynn. Now, you guys, supporting independent media is critical right now, as the mainstream media has been spending decades lying to the American people, and people were fed up, and that's why you had this nationalist backlash against the globalist media and their puppet politicians that they prop up and support and try to force on the public. This is a grassroots effort that supports the president. This is grassroots media. This is a true revolution. What we have is a true revolution, a coalition of unified people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, all coming together. This is the true movement of unity, not what the left is promoting. What they're promoting is something very weird and divisive. It's called identity politics and intersectionality. They love their intersectionality chart over there. The more intersectional you are, the least people can criticize you, the more you can get away with. That's how they do identity over there. That's how they do it. They believe in division. It's doublespeak with them. When they talk about unity, what they really mean is division. But over here, this is a real coalition of unified American patriots that believe in freedom. And the left wants to take freedom away. When you dim the light of freedom, the world becomes a darker place. We're not going to let that happen. 7 days. That's it, guys. 7 days. Next Tuesday night. That's it. The biggest election probably in world history. The entire world is watching this. This isn't just for the United States of America. This is for the world. And we're gonna find out next week if our grandchildren's grandchildren will have as much freedom as we have today. That's why it's so important that you share this stream. That's why you support President Trump. Get out there and vote. If your state does early in-person voting, get out there and vote. Don't wait until Election Day. Do it right now. It is so important that you do this. Moving along with these super chats. C. Bradley, Arizona for Trump. God bless you, C. Bradley. Christian Dexter says, love Trump from Elkhorn, Nebraska. How far is Elkhorn from Omaha? Is it any warmer there? Kenneth Mason says, God bless America. We've also got Dan Lack. Thank you for your super chat, Dan. Justin Williams says, Florida for Trump. 4 more years, you heard? Whoops, hold on. Here we go. Crypto Mother X says, RSBN, excellent job. Thank you, Trump JFK Jr. Glenn Hager, thank you for your super chat. Benjamin Smith says, thank you, RSBN. Thank you, President Trump. Back to Blue. Benjamin Tyler Smith, author of Blue Crucible.
The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American. 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea. And New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
That's a lot of people. Look at that. That's incredible. I hope the fake news media is turning their cameras way, way back there. That's incredible. Hello, Omaha. And I have to also say, because a lot of people are here from Iowa. Hello, Iowa. Okay, wait a minute. Who's from Iowa? Raise, go. Who's from Omaha? You know what? We're going to be in Iowa soon. We'll do that one separately. Huh? That's a big difference. 7 days from now, we're going to win Nebraska. And we're going to win 4 more years in the great White House, that beautiful, beautiful White House. This is, yeah, look at this. I can't believe this. 29,000 people. Can you believe it? 29,000. You know, we have to win both Nebraskas. You know that, right? You have 2, you cut. We're going to win both. This election is a choice between the Trump super recovery, which is what we're having, or a Biden depression. Sad to say. And some bad news just came out on Biden, but I won't tell you about that. You'll find that out tomorrow. Oh, look at you. Man, that's something. Biden has pledged the biggest tax hike in the history of our country. First man that I've ever seen campaign on the fact, I'm going to raise your taxes. What's going on? I gave working families record-setting tax cuts, and in my second term, I will cut middle-class taxes very substantially more. And by the way, a lot of things are going on. You're seeing those poll numbers are going through the roof. I hate to tell. Where is the fake news? It's over there. Oh, that's a lot of camera. No, it's going up. They're very concerned. They're very, very concerned. All over. Florida's looking great. Now, Nebraska, we know is looking great, okay? I mean, in theory, I didn't really have to be here, but it's nice to be with your friends, too. With your vote, we will continue to bring back our jobs, support our police, defend our Second Amendment, which is under siege, secure our borders, maintain American energy independence, expand school choice, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with the phrase, that beautiful phrase, made in the USA, right? I will deliver record prosperity, epic job growth, and a safe vaccine that eradicates the virus and quickly ends the pandemic. And we're making that final turn. They don't want to hear it. We're making that turn. You know that, right? We're going to have the vaccine anyway, with or without it. We're making the turn. Normal life will fully resume. That's all we want. We want normal life. Normal life. Go back 7 months. We'll take normal life. Greatest economy we ever had. We want normal life. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. That's where we're heading. Super V. Joe Biden doesn't even respect you enough to campaign. He never came here, right? Did he come here? Oh. All right, so that's the end of that. I'll see you guys. Moments ago, we learned about the other reason Joe Biden has been hiding in his basement. In a national television interview, do you want me to tell you the rest? The Biden family's business partner revealed shocking, disturbing, and explosive information about Joe Biden's corrupt and illicit foreign business dealings while he was vice president. The business partner made clear that Biden's denial of involvement in his son's corrupt business dealings was a blatant lie with proof. He stated with firsthand knowledge that Vice President Biden was directly and personally involved in establishing corrupt business dealings with China and getting money for it. This all happened at the same time as Biden was letting China steal American jobs and plunder American wealth. You saw that for 8 years. If Biden wins, China wins, and China will own the USA. If Biden wins, he will do bad things. By the way, he's not a good guy, just so you understand. Is there any place you would rather be than a Trump rally on about a 10-degree evening? 10 degrees. It's cold out here, but that's okay. You know, we just left Wisconsin. It was cold. And we left Michigan. It was cold and raining. And I said, I won't put on a hat because I'm going to show you how tough we are. That was a tough one. It was pouring. It was pouring and it was freezing. And it's the coldest right here. I hate to tell you. Well, it's a little later. It's an honor to be with you, I have to say. When we win, you win, Nebraska wins, and all of America wins, and that's the way we want it. Joe Biden spent the last 47 years, think of it, 47 years, outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, foreign, ridiculous wars. Countries you've never even heard of. In 2016, Nebraska voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who finally put America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. If I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fought harder for you than any president who's ever held this wonderful, beautiful office. That I can tell you. This election is a matter of economic survival for Omaha and for communities all across our country. Joe Biden's agenda, and I'm not sure it's really Biden's agenda, let's face it. It's not his agenda. It sounds nice, Biden's agenda. The guy's shot. He's shot. He's so gonzo. You saw him yesterday. They took him away. I was in Pennsylvania with these tremendous crowds like this and tremendous rallies, and he had the lid on, right? You know the lid, like from a garbage can. They call it the lid. And they saw what was happening because I went to 3 of them. I did 3 of them yesterday in Pennsylvania. So he went from Delaware to the closest point where Pennsylvania hits Delaware, which was about 5 minutes away from his basement. And he made a speech. Just before that, he called me George. He said, George, I think he was talking about George Bush. And his wife was sitting next to him, and you could see she was not happy. But it's hard to correct him. You know, the camera's on. But he called me George, and then he did the little speech, and it wasn't good. They sort of just moved him out. They took him away. His own people brushed him off. They took him off stage. This is not what you can have. You know, we have the greatest country in the world. We have more potential than any country in the world. We can't play games. We can't play games. So the Democrats, let's say the Democrats, the radical left Democrats, they have an extreme agenda. He's just a vehicle. He'll be there for about 4 weeks or so, and then you'll have Kamala. That will not be the first woman president. You're going to have a woman president, maybe soon, but you're not going to have Kamala. Can't be Kamala. She's further left by far than crazy Bernie. You know, Bernie is like a conservative compared to her. But Biden's extreme agenda includes a radical vision to destroy suburbs across our nation. How are your suburbs doing? Don't ask. Are they good? They won't be good for long if they get it. And to completely dismantle law enforcement and cripple police departments nationwide. You know what's going on. You see it better than anybody. You don't have to take my word for it. Biden's plan to destroy suburbs and police. Just take a look. Roll the tape. We do this for you on this freezing cold night.
The suburbs today are not the suburbs of half a century ago. The suburbs are far more diverse than the cities, but they're being targeted. Being targeted for what? Federalized, centralized government control by the left.
Democrats want to abolish the suburbs. They are too clean and nice, and therefore, by definition, they are racist. The Biden campaign has highly specific plans on how to do this. It's called Affirmatively Furthering Fair Housing. It's a HUD regulation. It was written during the Obama administration. Biden's advisors plan to enforce it. Towns will be ordered to abolish zoning for single-family housing because single-family homes, needless to say, are racist. Low-income, federally subsidized apartments will go up in the suburbs.
We'll also build 1.5 million new energy-efficient homes and public housing units.
Thankfully, Trump repealed this rule back in July. But now the left is backing an even more radical plan. It was a bill put forward by Senator Cory Booker to push low-income housing developments into the suburbs. This would be a federal takeover of local zoning laws, in essence. And Biden, he fully supports it.
The prior administration piled up more than 600 major new regulations, a cruel and punishing regulatory burden that cost the average American an additional $2,300 per year. Think of that. The average American, $2,300 regulation, hitting low-income Americans by far the hardest. Our historic regulatory relief is providing the average American household an extra $3,100 every single year.
I've had the luxury of
enjoying the benefit of the tax cuts. The tax cuts allowed me to grow my businesses.
I believe that if you take into account the Trump tax cut, you take into account the drop in unemployment, and particularly unemployment for African Americans, the lowest it's ever been in history.
How's the economy right now? We're loving it. Kennedy credits the Trump tax cuts and deregulation for her company's growth.
It's the first time in 10 years that it's booming again.
The tax cuts that were imposed did wonders for the middle class.
I will cut taxes even further for hardworking moms and dads. I will not raise taxes. I will cut them.
First thing I do is going to repeal this Trump tax cut.
Do you believe there is systemic racism in law enforcement?
Absolutely.
I've been a police officer for nearly 32 years. Joe Biden does not have the backs of police officers.
Joe Biden's staffers, they gave money to a fund to help bail out accused criminals.
Joe Biden's silence is encouraging the rioters.
Kamala Harris was working to help the instigators, the criminals, get out of jail.
If Joe Biden's elected, it's just going to continue.
Everyone beware, because they're not going to stop.
The only person who's defended the police is Trump. I have had overwhelming support from police my whole career up until this year.
We can reduce the responsibilities assigned to the police and redirect some of the funding for police. Can we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes, absolutely.
In Joe Biden's America, we'll all be in danger. If you support the police and you want to be safe in your home and you want your children safe, support Donald Trump.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that's pretty effective. You know what that costs to bring to you tonight? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pretty effective, right? You see it. It saves me a lot of words. I can sit here, watch. I say, see? Nah, he's not the right guy. He's not the right guy. He's not right for this country. He's not the guy for this country. This election is a choice between the American dream, which is what we want, and a socialist nightmare, which is where you would head if you ever did that, which I don't believe you'll do. It's a choice between a Trump boom and a Biden lockdown. He wants to lock it all down. No, we close it up. We understand the disease. It's a terrible thing. Should never have been allowed to come here from China. Should never have been allowed. Joe Biden will delay the vaccine, postpone therapies, prolong the pandemic, shutter your schools, right? Shutter your schools, destroy your small businesses, and shut down our country. We're not doing that. Look, we are setting records, 11.4 million people. It's all opened up. We understand it, and we are doing a job. We are literally setting records on employment. Look at housing. Look at automobile production. Look at how you're doing in Nebraska. Look at how you're doing in Nebraska. Biden even wants to lock down young and healthy Americans. Yet, for those under the age of 50, I hate to say this, you're under the age of 50. How many are under the age of 50? Pretty young. Well, I have good news for you. 99.99, okay? You know what that means? That means you're in good shape. That's what that means. But you notice the fake news now, right? All they talk about is COVID, 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 and we've made such progress. It's incredible. Excuse me, I'm here. I'm here. Right? I mean, I wasn't exactly feeling great. It's been a long time. I wasn't exactly feeling great. And I met with great doctors. One thing, when you're president, you got plenty of doctors. We have one of them here tonight, I think, right? We have our great White House doctors traveling. Sean, he's become very famous. Where's Sean? He's become, oh, is that Sean? Look at Sean. Look at him. Wow. You know, he's got a big ego. He loves it when I mention his name. No, he's a great doctor, and they were great doctors from Johns Hopkins and from Walter Reed and everything else. And what we know today is like so different than what we knew 6 months ago. Incredible. The progress they've made, and with the vaccines, which are coming immediately, even without, we're turning that corner. You know, at some point, we're turning that corner, and it's been pretty amazing. Florida had a rough time. Boom, it's back. It's all the way down. Texas, all the way down. Arizona, great governors, all the way down. Biden's cruel and senseless lockdowns would cause countless deaths from suicide, drug overdose, and delayed medical care, alcohol. I mean, so many different problems. Remember, I'd say the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. That's what you have. When I banned travel from China, remember he said, now he says, oh, we should have done it sooner, except when I banned it for 2.5 months, he said, he shouldn't do that. He's xenophobic, right? And now he says, oh, I should have done it earlier. And he had a thing called the swine flu. It was a disaster, much less lethal. It was a disaster. He was a disaster. He's still a disaster, actually. If we listened to Joe, countless more people would have died. They were anticipating it could be 2.2 million. You don't hear that, 2.2 million. And you know the number. It's still, one is too many as far as I'm concerned. One is too many. This shouldn't have happened. One is too many. But it could have been 2.2. It could have been more than that. Biden was willing to sacrifice your lives on the altar of open borders. He wants open borders. Without borders, you don't have a country. By the way, the wall is now over 400 miles long. And we're building 10 miles a week, and it's very soon going to be finished. So we have the strongest southern border we've ever had. And we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally, and they have to come in through merit. Merit. Biden has no plan, no idea, no clue. He has no clue, that's for sure. And he just wants to lock up and throw away the keys, letting rioters and looters run wild. And you know, it's interesting. They call them peaceful protesters. They burn down your cities. They do things that nobody's seen before, all in radical left, Democrat-run cities and states, but cities, all of them. And every time we go in, we were going to go into Seattle, we let them know we're coming in. The night before we came in, they gave up, they left. They took over a piece of Seattle, that wasn't gonna last. Minneapolis, the same thing. We went into Minneapolis, we have to be asked in theory by the state. We went into Minneapolis and it all ended. It took about, what do you think, 25 minutes or so. It was just boom, right down the street. Now, you know, the Republican-run cities are doing very well. The Republican-run cities. And I hope you agree, because I know he's here, but you have a very good Republican governor. You do know that, right? Oh, listen to that. Good. Hi, Pete. Good. Pete, I'm glad they did that. You know, I want to do that. Otherwise, I just wouldn't introduce you later. You know, keep it quiet. They like you, Pete. The Biden plan will crush you and crush your family. My plan will crush the virus, and you will see economic benefits like we've never seen in our country before. That's where we're headed. When the China plague arrived, we moved heaven and earth to fight the disease. We airlifted medical supplies, pioneered groundbreaking therapies, reduced the fatality rate 85%. Think of that. And saved over 2 million lives. Our excess mortality rate has been 42% less than Europe. You hear about Europe, 42% less, much better than Europe. I'm working to make the breakthrough treatment that I received. I did. I had this thing called Regeneron. I don't know. I'd like to say it had nothing to do. I'd like to say my immune system is just like Barron Trump. You know, First Lady had it. I had it. Barron had it. They said, sir, Barron has tested positive. Like 12 minutes later, I said, how's Barron doing? Oh, he's okay now, sir. He threw it away. He just took that and threw it away, you know. They're young and they have strong immune systems, but I'd like to say the treatment didn't do anything for me. Doctor, do you hear that? I just threw it away like Barron. But you know what? I wasn't going to take my chance. I said, you have something, give it to me. And it was effective because I woke up the next morning after being with these doctors. They wanted to touch every single part of your body, and I didn't like it. 12 of them. Each one was a specialist, right? Every single one, but they were great. No, they were great. But I woke up the next morning, and I'll tell you, I felt like, get me out of here. It was amazing. So I really think this thing was great. It's great. I think it was great. And, you know, I don't have the luxury of staying in a basement. I'm president of the United States. I don't. I can't be staying. I really can't. You can't stay. I had a lot of meetings. I meet a lot of people. As president, I have that obligation. So we have basements in the White House. I could stay. We have beautiful bedrooms upstairs at the White House. I could stay for a year and a half. I can't do that. I have to be working for you. And if something happens, it happens. And I get, you know, they came in, they said, sir, you've tested positive. I said, tested positive for what? Then you go into one of the 27 different names. Corona, this China virus, the China plague, the China plague. That's what I tested positive for. But it was amazing, and it was actually an experience. And until I came along, you were supposed to have lifetime immunity, right? I said, well, you know, I'm recovered. I feel great. And I'm immune. I could jump right into this row, and I could kiss every man and woman. Every man and woman. But because it was me, the press said, no, it's not for a lifetime. It's only for 4 months. The immunity is only now for 4 months. They brought it down, right? It was always going to be for a lifetime. Now it's 4 months. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's one of those things. But I guarantee you this. On November 4th, you won't be hearing as much about this. It's going to be, right now, it's COVID, 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 no matter what happens. COVID, COVID. And on November 4th, you'll probably try and find some information about it. No, we're rounding the term. We're rounding that beautiful turn, and it's going to be very good. The vaccines are going to make it go away a lot faster, and they're going to be great. The greatest companies of their kind in the world are doing it. Really good. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, they really are great. Pfizer. Thanks to our relentless efforts, 97% of all current emergency room visits are for something other than the virus. Think of that, 97%. We're in great shape. And in the one areas, the Midwest, the little areas in the Midwest, certain areas that are heated up right now, they'll go down. They'll go down very quickly. They'll be down within 2 weeks, they're figuring. They'll go down, just like they did in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and so many others. We're on track to deliver 100 million doses of a safe vaccine and a great vaccine, and that's all set. We're all set logistically. Our military is going to deliver it. It'll be done very quickly. We will vanquish the vaccine, and we will get rid of this whole thing. We will get rid of this virus. It'll be you watch. It's going to happen very quickly, and we're going to have our country back, and the whole world is going to be coming back. This was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing that happened. Joe Biden has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He has handed control of his party over to the rage-filled socialists, Marxists, and left-wing extremists. And could we put another name in there? Starts with a C. Communists. Yes. No, we got a couple of them too, unfortunately. If Biden wins, the flag-burning extremists on the streets will be running your government. It's not going to happen. By the way, just so you know, we are so far, you listen to the fakers back there, look at them. You listen to the fake news. We are so far ahead. This is going to be bigger than 4 years ago. By the way, get out and vote. That's the only thing. I mean, I'm standing here freezing. I ask you one little favor, get the hell out and vote. The great red wave. At least you're down there with each other. I'm all up here and that wind is blowing. This election day, you must stop the anti-American radicals. And really, I mean, that's what they are. They're radicals. We can solve these problems so quickly if the governments would just say, would you please come in, federal government? We stop it in a matter of minutes. It goes so fast. The radicals delivering Joe Biden, you have to do this. You have to deliver them a message, the far left, a thundering defeat at the ballot box on November 3rd. It's got to be a big one. We got to win big, and we're going to win big. You know, I'm watching them, and they're getting, like 3 weeks ago, I don't know, they were doing these fake polls, and they felt very good, and then a week ago, they were feeling okay. They're not feeling so good right now. They're saying, these are not good numbers. Was that one of the greatest evenings ever 4 years ago? And you know the difference is, and I say this is easier, there's more, look at this crowd. I mean, we had big crowds. We never had crowds like this. Look at this crowd, 29,000. You have 29,000 people in Omaha. That's pretty good. And you're all on television. Say hello. You're on national television. See all the red lights? That means the cameras are going. That means those cameras are going. 29,000 people, they say. 29,000. Yeah. You know who spoke today? President Barack Hussein Obama. He had 12 people and 7 cars. Did you hear them? No, he draws flies. I've never seen. He had no people. I thought he'd have some people. And he brought Bon Jovi along. You know what happened to Bon Jovi? They increased the crowd by 22 people. Can you believe it? And then Joe spoke, and that crowd left. And we have 29,000 people here, and we had a tremendous crowd in Michigan, and a tremendous crowd in Wisconsin. And they're trying to figure out, like, if Trump is getting these crowds, and if Biden's getting like 12 people, you know the circles, he fills in the circles, they got like 5 of them. And a lot of times they put reporters in there because they have no people. But today he tried to blame that on COVID also. He said, no, we don't seek large crowds because we want it because of the virus, right? They don't want the large crowd. That's not the reason, okay? That's not the reason. It's a hell of an excuse, but it's not the reason. We're thrilled to be joined by the man we were just talking about. He's a friend of mine. He loves his state. He loves his country. And he's a great governor, Pete Ricketts. Pete, great job. Great job. What a good guy. What a good man. How's your state doing, Pete? All right, good. How are we doing? By the way, we're going to be okay here, right? He says good? Good. Thank you very much, Pete. And his brother Todd, another one, really good. Now, there's only 2 people that are better, Joe and Marlene. Now, Todd is great, but they will both admit Joe and Marlene are better, right? And you're here. Hi, Joe. I like the hat. Hi, Joe. You got to be proud of your boys. They're doing a great job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great family. Here as well are Senators Deb Fischer, who's fantastic. She is my favorite senator from the state of Nebraska. By far, she's fantastic. She is, I'll tell you what, she calls me, it doesn't stop. Between her and Joni Ernst from Iowa, who I think is here. Where's Joni? Joni. They call, sir, we need help with ethanol. Sir, we need help with corn. It's always, but you know what? That's what a great senator, that's what a great representative is supposed to do, right? Joni, thank you very much. And I heard you're doing very well. I just saw some very nice numbers. And Deb, you don't have to worry about numbers, right? You don't have to worry about numbers. I'm with you all the time. Thank you both. And yeah, it looks very good in Iowa. Thank you very much. Good. And Representatives Jeff Fortenberry, a warrior. Where's Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Great guy. Don Bacon. What's this? Wow. Well, I like him too, but I don't know if I like him that much. That's very good. I'll tell you, you better get me Omaha. Do you understand that? Now I know. I wouldn't have asked him, but now I'm going to say, make sure we win this side too, right? Good. How we doing, Don? I hear good, huh? Good. I'm very impressed. That's about as good as I've heard in a long time. And Adrian Smith. Adrian, great job. Great job. Great to have you here. It's a great group of people, and these are warriors. They fought with me a lot. They fought with me. We keep winning over there, but it's not easy, right? But it gets easier and easier all the time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. For decades, our politicians spent trillions and trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. But now we are finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops back home to the USA. Our troops are coming home. Thank you. Now our troops are coming back home. It's enough. 19 years in Afghanistan, and we have it worked, and they're coming home, and it's a great thing. And they're home from Syria. They're home. I left some because we kept the oil, if you don't mind. There was some oil. And we captured it. We kept it. And coming home from Iraq, it's enough. It's enough. We want to have them all home. We have a lot of other countries, too. We're in many, many, many countries, most of which you never even heard of, right? You never even heard of. It's ridiculous. I ended and by the way, making our military stronger by far than ever before. I ended the NAFTA nightmare and proudly signed the brand new USMCA, which is turning out to be phenomenal. It's a great deal. It's a great deal, just kicked in now. And you know what? Companies will not be leaving Nebraska and Iowa and all of our places. There's a very big disincentive for them to do that. When China targeted our farmers, I delivered $28 billion to our incredible farmers here in Nebraska and Iowa and all across the country. Don't forget to tell the people of Iowa that, please. $28 billion. I said to Secretary Sonny Perdue of Agriculture, you know, Sonny is great. I said, Sonny, how much were the farmers targeted? And he said, 12 billion, sir, and 16 billion, 2 years, 12 and 16. I said, 28, good. So I tariffed 28 billion, took it from China, and distributed it to our farmers. Nobody else is going to do that. In fact, some people say our farmers do better now than they did when they actually had a farm. But we did. We had the biggest order of corn 2 weeks ago in the history of our country, the biggest order of soybeans, and the biggest beef order, right? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Joe Biden's running mate, the most liberal member of the U.S. Senate, you know who that is, right? Sponsors the insane Green New Deal. $100 trillion. You too can have no windows in your buildings, which would wipe out the ethanol industry, Joni. It would totally wipe out that industry. We worked hard on that industry, and they're now in good shape. Devastating Nebraska and devastating Iowa. As president, I will always defend ethanol, okay? All right? Does Nebraska like ethanol too, by the way? Okay, good. I need that little assurance. I need that little bit of assurance. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, our southern border, largely because of the wall. My opponent's insane immigration plan would completely eliminate U.S. borders. Open borders they want to have. Let's have open borders so everyone can just pour in like they used to. He would make every community into a sanctuary city for violent criminals. So we invested $2.5 trillion, a lot of it right here from this state and from Joni, from Iowa. $2.5 trillion. New equipment. Our military is in the best shape it's ever been in. We have the greatest equipment anywhere in the world. We are the envy of every other country, Russia, China, North Korea. We have the best missiles and rockets and tanks and planes and fighter jets, F-35s, submarines. and our nuclear weapons are now renovated and/or new and fixed, and we only hope to God we never have to use them. Hope to God. Our military was very much in bad shape. It was depleted. It was depleted. It was exhausted. It was ridiculous. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. They were looking for him for a long time. And we took out the world's top terrorist. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous and ridiculous Iran nuclear deal, $150 billion. We paid for nothing, and $1.8 billion in cash. I'm more impressed with that. What do you think, Pop? I think I'm more impressed. $150 billion or $1.8 billion in cash. I think I'm more impressed with the cash. You ever hear everything like that? That's what we gave to Iran for nothing. We got nothing. I recognized the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Think of that. They worked on that for 52 years. I got it done in 2 hours. And instead of never-ending wars in the Middle East, you see what's happening. Already 3 countries, and we have 5 lined up, and we're going to have another. It's an easy one. It's a lot easier than you would think. They worked on this for 35 years. They had the wrong people. They had the wrong concepts. But, I got nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And for all different regions. Like Kosovo and Serbia, we're doing deals, trade deals. Just normally we're doing trade deals. I said, wait a minute, aren't they always fighting each other? Yeah. Aren't they always killing each other? Yeah. For many decades, sir, how did you know? I said, I know, they're killing them. They fight each other all the time. Tell them we're not going to do any business with them. They want our business, right? And we're not going to do any business unless we make a deal where they stop killing each other. And you know what? It took about 20 minutes. They've been fighting for 40 years. I think they've been fighting for 400 years, you want to know the truth. But they've been fighting for a long time. They want to make a deal. All of a sudden, 2 months ago, they're in the Oval Office, hugging the 2 prime ministers, hugging and kissing and thinking, great. That was easy, Joe, right? That was easy. It just makes sense. I just said, hey, why don't we get them together? I mean, we're going to do these 2 deals. Tell them to stop fighting, and we save a lot of lives. That's a good thing. But we're forging peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand, and we're not spending money. You're doing it either. It's something very nice. It's we're pulling out. A vote for Republicans is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for acknowledgement that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Is that nice? People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. So in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China, and that's already begun, largely already begun. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will defend religious liberty, free speech, the right to life, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. And that's what we have now with what we have. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency that's bigger than health care. You watch, already signed, kicks in on January 1st. Lower drug prices even more. We signed favored nations. That means we're going to get the lowest price anywhere in the world. Right now, we're by far the highest. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. And NASA is the #1 space center anywhere in the world again. It was a mess 3.5 years ago. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our school. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized to America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Nebraska and Iowa. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, and get your co-workers, get your boss, and say, "Boss, get out of here, boss. Get out and vote. You got to vote. The red wave is coming, the great red wave." Now we're doing very well. Those early ballots, you know, the whole ballot hoax, you see what's going on. There's so many bad things happening, but we're doing very well. You know, we're supposed to be a little behind, and then we're a little bit above, right? But that wave comes, and now we go to the front of everything. I think we're going to win everything. We didn't come this far and fight this hard to surrender our country back to the corrupt Washington swamp. So on November 3rd, we must finish the job that we started. We have done a job like nobody. There has been no administration, nobody, and it's us all together. There has been no administration has done in the first 3.5 years what this administration has done. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. From Norfolk to Hastings, from Grand Island to Lincoln, and from Scotts Bluff to right here in Omaha, we inherit the legacy of Nebraska patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled a continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Nebraska and Iowa, we have made America powerful again. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Nebraska. Thank you, Iowa. Thank you both. Thank you. Get out and vote.
President Trump wrapping up in Omaha, the third in our triple header today of Trump rallies on RSBN. Thank you for joining us. Good evening. I'm Joe Seals, live at the RSBN studio in Auburn, Alabama. So if you had enough yet, we haven't either. We've been to so many of these things, but it never gets old. This man, this president is so high energy, and we love it. We have prepared for this moment for the last 4 years, and we are ready to go. Tomorrow, Arizona, 2 more in Arizona tomorrow. It's going to be fun in Arizona. The crowds are going to be huge. We're going to have 3 cameras at the one tomorrow night, and just outside of Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. We're going to have 3 cameras for that. So we're going to capture as much as possible for you. It's going to be great. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for that one. And also, please support us. Help us get to these events. There's so many of you who have supported us today. We're viewer supported. Rely on your donations to get to the event. Y'all know that. But we really appreciate it because this is unprecedented. We've never tried anything like this before. We're going to have 5 rallies per day coming up soon, and we just want to be ready for it. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Love all of you. Have a great Tuesday night. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you, moderators. Thank you to everybody who has donated tonight. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe, because we're going to be at every one of these things, and you want to be notified. Thank y'all. Have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump has just wrapped up his remarks in Omaha, Nebraska, his last of a triple header. Man, the last 2 days has been just back-to-back Trump events. I mean, you had 3 yesterday in Pennsylvania, and then today you had Lansing, Michigan, and then you had Wisconsin, and now Nebraska. And tomorrow, President Trump is going to Phoenix, as well as another event in Nevada. And then after that, President Trump will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have just 7 days, 1 week, until the most important election of our lifetimes. He has truly been fighting for this country, and we so appreciate President Trump for that. Just like we appreciate you, the viewer, who supports us and funds us and allows us to bring you live coverage of every one of these rallies. I want to give a special shout out to everybody that super chatted. Thank you, 2020 WFT, for your super chat. Thank you, Don Vilo, for your super chat. Says, thanks for all your effort, RSBN crew. Also, Jeff Jorgensen, we want to appreciate you for giving us a super chat. Thanks to all the new members. Thanks to all the people who subscribed tonight. Can't thank you enough. Everybody else for liking and sharing this stream. Now, as you guys know, we're almost entirely viewer funded. So your donations allow us to travel across the country covering this historic campaign. Please, if you wouldn't mind, go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, rsbnetwork.com/donate to support our patriot movement, our independent media movement. Also, if you want to mail a check, you can do that at our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Again, 7 days separate us and re-electing President Donald J. Trump. If you live in the state of Florida, get out there and vote now. Do not wait until November 3rd. Keep this momentum going. Now I'm going to hand it over to Zoe. She's going to bring us on home. Bring it on home, Zoe.
Thank you, Mike. Well, of course, another victorious night for us, for President Donald Trump. And of course, he has a full schedule ahead of him with only 7 more days to go. And we are all here for it. And we thank you all for your support, for following us since day one and still sticking with us to the end. Looking forward to the next rally. Again, we're on the road again until 7 more days until the election. So again, guys, thank you all so much for your support. And we'll see you all again. Baby.
Hi, I'm Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life. Have you joined one of the coalitions? Go to donaldjtrump.com/coalitions and see where you fit in to support this campaign. There are coalitions for women, Latinos, blacks, veterans, Catholics, evangelicals, pro-life voices, and many more. And remember, support Right Side Broadcasting.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
We're Diamond and Silk. Listen. Our book dropped already.
Yes.
And we want you to get a copy of it.
That's right.
Uprising. Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch? The Awakening of Diamond and Silk.
That's right.
Now you can get the book at diamondandsilkbook.com or anywhere that books are sold. And I want you to continue to support RSBN.
That's right.
Why? Because they've been here since the beginning. And they will be here to the very end.
That's right.
And guess what, y'all?
What?
We gonna win.
That's right.
You all get out and vote. Vote red. RED. Remove every Democrat. And make sure you vote for Donald J. Trump. We love y'all.
Bye-bye.
And questions about money he made from foreign business dealings while his father was vice president.
And did Joe Biden allow it? We're talking about millions of dollars in at least 2 countries.
Did you talk about China or your deal with China?
No.
A 12-hour flight over?
No, of course not.
That never came up?
No.
Less than 2 weeks after that trip, BHR Partners was launched, a private equity firm funded in part by Chinese banks.
He has come forward and said it was a mistake on his part to be on the board.
My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody that he's talking about.
What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money?
I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board.
Hunter Biden holds an equity stake in a company that's taken over $1.5 billion in loans from the Chinese government. This is obviously an issue.
What they said is China would prefer Joe Biden.
China and Iran. China and Iran.
China and Iran want to see Donald Trump's defeat, and they're looking for ways to make that happen.
China's a great nation, and we should hope for the continued expansion.
Growth of China is overwhelmingly in our interest.
And there's much more to come.
And now the steel mill ain't even there.